All right, everyone, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. Eric Paulziner with 95 Sports. Going to be getting into the 3M Open, specifically the round one recap and the round two kind of preview. One unfortunate thing is that we had a pretty lengthy weather delay due to lightning, which it's going to make round two most likely have to start later. Round one is currently finishing up. I'm recording this video at pretty much 8. I like to do these videos once all the data's in from round one. That's when the data set on the 9 to 5 leaderboard / showdown. Leaderboard is most accurate when we have all that data in there. So kind of sucks that we're not going to get that heading into round two. But kind of is what it is. We've seen this a decent amount. We'll obviously be able to gauge it pretty well. But pretty awesome stuff with Troy Merritt going out and getting first place right now after round one. No real shock there. We've seen that with him, a bunch already over the past 3 months. He's been so kind of hit or miss. Either his games is on, he's getting a top 10 finish, or his game's a little bit not all there. Let's just put it that way. And he's struggling. And I've touched on it a decent amount this week. It's that or throughout this whole year now, is that he went to school at my alma mater, which is a Minnesota State school. So it's kind of no surprise that, a guy growing up in that area is going out and playing well. Not really shocking to see Ricky going out and playing well. Kind of has been having some tournaments here or there where he's kind of been putting it together. This could be the tournament in which he finally puts it all together. Would put golf in an even better spot. I already think it's kind of the golden age of golf right now. If he goes out and gets a victory as well, kind of the golden age of golf. And then one other quick thing before we dive down into it. Freaking 18. I tweeted this out. Hole 18 is a great hole, but I'm so sick of players playing it stupid. It's one of those holes where if you play it safe, play it for par, well, you're gonna set yourself up for a birdie. So if you hit your first shot and then kind of lay up on your second shot, you're kind of gonna leave yourself with a nice chip and putt for birdie anyways. I get it though. I get going forward in two. You should be able to get there pretty easily, and you're pretty much locked into a birdie if you get it there in two. But man, save that for Saturday, save that for Sunday. Go on and make the cut, boys. I mean, a lot of players are playing in this tournament because, well, they do stupid stuff like that. So I don't know, kind of interesting there. A lot of weekends or weeks are going to be made on hole 18 tomorrow. So that'll be interesting to watch and see. But overall, good stuff. We'll talk about the ownership here right now. So pulling up the ownership, just looking at it right now, was shocked to see Hank Lebioda get up to 30%. Now I get it, he was clearly mispriced. Part of the problem this week is that there's a lot of low tier price point players like Hank Lebioda that easily could have been high tier price point players. So with that, it made lineup process a lot more difficult. And honestly, it was so tough to pass up on Hank Lebioda this week just due to his great stat fit. He's kind of one of those players that got a little bit gypped by the weather delay because he came out and kind of was rusty. So that was the unfortunate side of it there. And then really shocking to see DJ Jonathan Vegas get up that high of ownership as well. Patton Kazire kind of shocked me there. And then Luke Liz getting almost up to 20%. Kind of interesting there. Some other ones like Robert McIntyre, and then Cameron Tringale not really being chalk was a little bit surprising to me, but as a whole, kind of went how you would expect it. One thing that really threw me off though was that if Hank Lebioda was going to be 30% owned, how was Doug Gim like half the percent of that? That was pretty strange to me to see. And then you got some really nice ownership levels on some guys that we were on. Kevin Tway, 3%. Troy Merritt, like I said, kind of a hit or miss option, 5%. It's been weird because a lot of people with like the Troy Merritt type play have been going all in on it this week with those hit or miss guys, or this season. Kind of strange that he was only 5% because of that logic. And then Roger Sloan, I viewed him as the top value play. 2% owned, kind of strange there to me. Really shocking that, kind of the clear cut top value pick was not more higher owned than that. And just kind of strange there. But let's get into the round. We kind of already did the round one recap, but we'll pull it up here on the leaderboard page. So I just want to show you guys here real quick as well is that the leaderboard page, look at this, guys, the high tier. It kind of sucked that you had to pay up for 2 high tier price point players essentially. Look at the color scale here. Yellow obviously means, kind of worried about them missing the cut. Green means they're good. And then red means that they're in trouble of missing the cut. And if we just look at the 9 to 5 model, the only 2 that are not in risk of missing the cut are Cameron Tringale and then also Louis Oosthuizen. Kind of crazy there. So yeah, it's just kind of a crazy start. I put it on the 9 to 5 write-up this week that kind of the issue is that the high tier just kind of sucks. There's a lot of just risky plays. Now, sure, they're priced up as high as they were because they could go out and win. A lot of them rated out pretty well in the model as a whole, but it wasn't without their faults because they did have some risky either form or stat fit coming into it, or course history, like DJ, kind of course history. So kind of interesting week there that we got so far going. Let's just look at it from the top 10 in the model here. Let's just pull it up. So top 10 in the model, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 made cuts. 7 made cuts, 2 potential miscut, or 4 potential miscuts as well. So kind of crazy there. If we expand it out, let's see, your top 24, sure. It gets a little bit better there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 miscuts out of the top 24 looking like right now. No, that's not bad. That's how we want it to be. But that really does, I think, sum up kind of the week that we had. Is that we knew that this lower price section was going to be the section that you wanted to make most of your builds with. On the 9-to-5 write-up as well, I kind of put in, it's okay to leave some salary left over this week because that's just the week that we have. Kind of crazy that kind of ended up being true. I do expect some of these guys to have a better round 2. We can pull that up. So do want to start with saying that this is still going on. Round 2 still going on, so we're not going to have all the data for round 2, but this is just currently how it stands. Now, round 2 regression, that once again is going to be players that are most likely to play better going into round 2. Obviously, Emiliano Grillo struggled, so he's going to be one of the players most likely to have a good round, but he also does rank out in round 2 ranking pretty well. So top 10 there, him, Tony Finau, Patrick Desire, they rank out really well, most likely to play better in round 2, but they also rank out really well in round 2 showdown. If you guys want to, you can easily go back to the well with Tony Finau and Patrick Desire with the thought that, they should be able to go on and have a much better round. Some other guys that are expected to have a better round, Charles Howell, Lanto Griffin, Pat Perez. Oh man. So a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, Pat Perez is due to have a better round because he sucked at putting, which is true. But I know a lot of people will do showdown content really just based off of that, which is strange that they only look at one asset of a player's game when it's all about the whole thing, encompassing the whole thing. Overall, he does rank out top 20 in round 2 showdown though. So kind of a mood point there because he doesn't rank out poorly. I'm just kind of pointing out that people don't exactly do it correctly. I guess you should. I mean, obviously you should putt better, but the point is that when a player struggles on one asset of their game, no matter what it is, they're more than likely going to go out and play better on that part of their game the next day. It's typical regression there. So I just kind of want to point that out. And then Stewart Cink popping up as well. He was actually popping up as the best play in round 2 showdown. So we'll pull that up here as well. So yeah, Stewart Cink ranking out as the best player round 2 showdown. He's going to have that favorable morning tee time. Then Tony Finau, Patrick Desire, DJ. So if you can afford to pay up for DJ, kind of a slow starter, you can do that. I don't mind that. And then Louis Oosthuizen, once again, popping up. Don't mind that. But you could get away with Hank Lebioda, Roger Sloan, and then casually popping up there as well. James Hahn, not playing horribly. He popped last week. I guess it wouldn't be shocking to see him go on and play well. And then we got Grillo, Snedeker, again popping up there. Kyle Stanley popping up there as well. So kind of crazy there. No real standout plays, and part of the reason is, once again, because round 1 isn't finished just yet. But I can say right now, I wouldn't mind Sloan, Cink, that favorable tee time. You could easily roll with those guys. Snedeker I would be fine with as well, favorable tee time. Kyle Stanley just on that list, and then you could go a little bit lower to some of the guys that have, I guess, the unfavorable tee time, the late tee time. That's going to be Finau, because I don't mind. DJ, I'm fine with that. Usti should go on and play well as well. So overall, not bad there. And then just looking at round 2, who's most likely to win heading into round 2? Once again, you guys know this is, I think this is why a lot of people come to 9-5 is because of this tool. I mean, just super predictive. And that's just on top of the predictive data. And that's why this is so predictive, is because we already are doing the steps needed to make the data as predictive as possible. So that's why this has been pretty good this whole year. But just looking at right now, once again, not all of round 1 is finished. So once it is finished, this is most likely going to be different, okay? But right now, as it says, Maverick McNeely ranks out most likely to win. A little bit shocking there. -4, had a pretty good round, 9th place right now. I kind of get it. Adam Schenk, 2nd best, and I hope so. I hope so, because I told you guys 100 to 1, that's a good number for him. Outright bet, that'd be freaking awesome. So all in all, we know how this has went this season with 9-5. He's going to get second place for sure. I mean, just no doubt about it. And if he doesn't, it's going to be Cameron Tringale, another guy in the betting card. Just kind of crazy. Over 50% of the weeks, the 9-5 betting card has had a second place or first place finisher, and a good majority of that percentage is second place finishers. Troy Merritt's a good example. Freaking Joaquin Neiman 3 times gained second place is a good example of that. So been some fun weeks, but also it's like, all right, we need some of these guys to pull through and get the victory. So it'd be nice to see one of those two win. Scott Stallings popping up there, -6. He's another one of those guys that kind of got affected by, I think, the weather delay. Came out and had a double bogey on the next hole after the long weather delay. Dude was in first place prior to that, so unfortunate there. Bo Hogg popping up there. See, that I don't expect that to stay true. But then we got Troy Merritt, Louis Oosthuizen, Doug Gim. Love to see that. Then rounding out the top 10, Charles Schwartzel, who actually ranked out top 10 in the 9-5 model. That was pretty sweet. And then Ryan Armour casually popping up there as well. Top 10 there. So kind of interesting. I wonder where Roger Sloan will be, because if he goes out and gets like a birdie or two, I could see him popping up into the top 10 there, potentially there as well. But that is all I have for you guys for today. Like I said, kind of sucks that we're not going to have round 1 finished up before round 2 starts. It's kind of one of those things. Nature of the beast, I guess, if you will. And it is what it is. You know, just kind of got to play it as is. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe. I do appreciate that. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing.